First of all, I want to talk about different kinds of shakers. Those shakers over there I made with a bill system. And somewhere where I've got a catalog showing how to make them with the bill system. Did I get that to you, John?
Yes.
If we got it around here somewhere, we need to pass it around let people look at it.
I will find, I set it down.
But basically, the bill system comes with an 1.25 inch mandrel, a 1 inch mandrel with a gizmo to fit into the number 2 March taper on your lathe, and a deal to help you turn the right size. I don't use it. But anyway, turning it with the bill system is there's a couple of things I didn't like about it. One of them is when you're putting the cork's on the wrong side of the lathe, and you got to pull the tailstock back and take your piece completely off the mandrel in order to fit the cork to your piece like this. And I'll get into that later. But I made some of these. There you go. Pass this around, let people look and see what the bill system is. The bill system's still good because sometimes I use the bill system to hook it up so I can turn the bottoms of the shaker. Or the top, whichever one you choose it to be. But I use the 1 inch mandrel to do that with. Now, we can make tops. What we've got here, this hand, I've got a top on this shaker, but it can be a bottom if you want it to be a bottom. So I got some shakers that got little tops like this. You pass these around, somebody.
I'll play it down on mine.
Here's a tape, one that's got a bottom top with a 1 inch hole in it instead of the 1 1/4. Here's another one. We've got the little top. So there's just all kinds of shapes and sizes that you can do with these things. Here's another one that's got the bottom. Now, Bill wants you to use an 1.5 inch hole as the main hole. Some of those shakers got an 1.5 inch hole, a big hole in it for the salt and pepper. If you do that, my stock that I'm starting with is not exactly 2 inches. It had it planed down about 1 7/8. That's all I could get out of a piece of rough wood. So I don't have a lot of room to decorate the sides. So I've started using the 1 inch board for the salt and pepper to go into, and using the 1 1/4 to fit the lid to it. That gives me more room to decorate the sides of the deal. First thing you want to do is cut your blocks. This particular one is going to be for a 4 inch shaker, and the block is 6 inches long, and I use the golden ratio. How many people know what the golden ratio is? It's a 1.618 to 1. So I use the golden ratio to figure it out on 4 inch shaker, and it figured out about 1.5 inches for the top and 2.5 inches for the bottom. And or you can do it the other way. This can be the top, and this can be the bottom. Whichever way you want to turn it, you can do it either way. To start with, somebody, you pass this around for me. They want to see that. The only time I mark the center of anything is one of our first lines up here. Now, same thing. This is my 1 inch drill bit. I've got an extension on it because we're going to drill that deep down into this shaker. And the Forstner bit is just not that long, so you have to get an extension to make it work. But this first cut is going to be the depth to where the blue meets the steel. That's that deep right there. Can y'all see that? You got the head, then you got a little space behind the head. And I'm gonna drill it that deep. I think. That's about it. Okay, the next one, it needs some quarter bit. If y'all hadn't used these kind of Forster bits, they sell them on Amazon. They are a whole lot better than the regular type of Forster bit. They cut better, they're carbide, and they last longer. Okay, now this one, this is going to be this part right here, the big hole that goes over the stopper. So that's what I'm drilling now. Now I'm going to go in the width of the head. That's not good. Okay, that's all we're going to do on that one right now. And let me take it off. Weather? Weather?
Amber alert. Somebody in
Okay, I'm going to mark the center, or close to it. Like that. And use my punch and get. Who is it? Did it say? Line it up, get it kind of tight, and tighten it down. I was turning one of these the other day without the tailstock up, and it came out of this block, hit me over here on my face shield. It would have hit me in the eye if I hadn't had the face shield on. So this is not the ideal way of chucking stuff up. Okay. Now what I'm going to do next is drill a hole. I got it marked here. It's about a 3/8 inch from where the bottom's going to be on the shaker. So come on, open up. that tight. I didn't do that by hand. Everybody on the instructions said to back it out, get rid of those chips because they can heat up and cause a fire. You don't want to turn it at a very fast speed because of the friction. And that feels pretty tight. I'll probably go too far with that one. Okay, just got that done. Okay, the next thing is, I'm going to put the 1 1/4 drill bit back in. And this is, the whole reason for this is to mark that end so I know about how far to go down with the tenon. That's all I need there.
What was that mark for again?
We're fixing to make a tenon on this end.
Okay.
And that marks the size that my tenon's got to be, or about the size. It's marking the size of this big hole. And I'm fixing to go down to it and make a tenon.
Put your point on there.
This part here that the cork's on, that's the tenon.
Would you point on that piece where you're talking about that it marks the size of the tenon
See that little?
to the outside of that little groove?
Okay, now then we start having fun. I have learned to use the tailstone. Okay, now my cutter is about a 1/2 inch wide, and that's about how wide I want the tenon to be. But I'm going to start small. Need more speed. Okay, now what I'm trying to do now is get the cylinder turned around. There's no stopping this with the hand wheel. Okay, you can see I've got this part round now. I'm going to get the rest of it to there. Yes, Don, I've been trying to use the skew. But I'm still scared of it, you know, for this. But I'm getting better with it. But I'm not ready to demo with it. Okay, now that I've got it turned around, the next thing is to get my tenon down to that mark I just made with the Foster bit. I think I'm close, but I don't think I'm there yet. Yeah. Okay, this is loose. And that's what you want. You don't want a tight fit like you do in regular boxes. Because we're going to take up the slack with the cork later on. But you want it where it's on there. But at this stage, I do want it tight. Well, not necessarily. I can use paper. I didn't bring any paper towels. You got some paper towels?
Should be some right there.
Yeah. You're right. Yes, we will do. That's just about right. Okay, now to make the tenon, I bought this tool several years ago, and I don't remember why I bought it, but it's called a B-dan. It's 3/8 of an inch. But you can do the same thing with the parting tool. It just, you have to be a little more accurate on the measure. So I'm going to cut a groove in this thing with the B-dan. Anybody else know what's next? I forgot what to do next. I need help. Okay, the next thing is the cork. And I've got the cork. I bought the cork on Amazon, and you've probably seen them. They have 4-inch squares for putting stuff on the tables. What do they call them? Trivets or something, where you keep your D-glass from sweating on the table. And they make 4-inch cork squares for gluing on the bottom and stuff like that. I just bought a package of those and stripped them up in 3/8 inch strip. 4 inches is just perfect for this size of stopper. So basically, you got a pen or a pencil?
I'm sorry.
I got a
Pencil?
There you
Should be a pencil
go.
there.
I got a pencil with my compass over here. There you go. Thank you. That worked. Okay, just peel it back. I leave part of it unstripped. Put it in the groove and mash it down good as I go, and I mark where that starting point is. Hey, I like this blue pencil, I can see it. And then you just go around, putting this in there, like that. And then you come back around to the point that I marked at the starting point. Then you take the B-dan again and put it on that mark, like that, and get it straight, and just wiggle it from side to side until you get it cut off like that. Then you reach in there and pull that piece of paper off, and you got it glued down. It's not quite perfect, but it's close enough. Okay, now then. See, I can't get it on there because it's tight. The next thing I've got to do is sand that cork down with a piece of, y'all know what these are, your wife uses them all the time. Buy them at Dollar General for $1 for 20 of them or something, they're cheap. And what you do, you want it rounded. You want to round it. So you start off in the middle, or at the left side, at an angle. Can you see that on the camera? They just sort of work it around, and you do the same thing with the other side. They work it around, and you want it to be rounded. And then there, you got to turn it off and trial fit it to see how we're doing. And it's right there. Ain't that easy? I had a geometry teacher in high school that said, "Oh, how easy." It wasn't that easy for us. Okay, now then, what we're going to do is take a piece of paper towel. Sometimes I've started doing this before I put the cork on, because if it slips, you mess the cork up. And then, but it's not a big deal to recork it. All you got to do is take your bead down or your tool and get the old one off and start over and put a new one on. You want a good tight fit here. And I had a little round piece that I had on my lathe, but I didn't bring it. And just keep putting a point in the end of this, but we probably need a point anyway. So I'll bring that up, not tight, just to give it some pressure. I've been trying to get these down to where I can make them in 30 minutes. The best I've done so far is 45 minutes. Slipping, I don't want you slipping. Okay, the question is, right now, we need to determine whether this is going to be the top or this is going to be the bottom. And this is where you make the decision. If it's going to be the top, and that's what I'm going to make tonight, we'll put the holes in the top for the salt and pepper to come out. If it's the bottom, you dress it up like it's the bottom. So, one of the light shapes that I like, where'd all my shakers go? The one that's tapered, the tapered one is one of the easiest ones to make. But you can get real fancy with these things if you want to. The tapered one like this. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I need to figure where I'm going to cut it off at. So right there is where my deal goes, and I want about that much more. Okay, for you new guys, if you haven't ever used carbide tools, that's the way to get started. They're easy, they don't have as big learning curve as the other tools do, and I use them nearly exclusively except for a few things that I do with the spindle gouge. And like I told Don, I'm trying to learn my skew, but I'm not confident with the skew yet. Now right now, next thing I want to do is to kind of round the top off a little bit. And I'll use the pointed tool for this. I don't think I brought my spindle gouge, but this will work. Okay. I want to come around to the board. The thing I'm fixing to do now is make the indentions for the holes for the salt and pepper to come out. And this is just plain geometry. Like my geometry teacher said, oh, how easy. Well, you take a circle and you find a point, any point, it doesn't matter. You take your compass, and you got the radius of the circle here. Well, you don't change it, you use the same radius. And you draw an arc through the center like that. That'd be the next 2 points. Then you use the same arc and draw one here, and use that point and draw one here. And then from this point you draw one there, and draw one there, and very seldom they ever come out exactly, but you hit in between them. And that's your 6 points, 7 points for drilling the holes. You drill a hole in the middle, and then 6 around the side. Everybody knew that already, didn't you?
Come on, act like I do that.
But once you strike that radius, and the radius I use is about 5/16. I've gone as big as 3/8, and it makes the hole a little bit too big, and this is about 5/16. What do you say?
30 degrees apart, yeah. It's a hole going around it.
Okay, now then, I made a little jig for doing this. Wait, find it. Where's the jig? Here it is. Okay, I've got a drill bit. I'm going to put the drill bit into the chuck. And then basically what I've done is the same thing I did on the board. And I drill screws through this little block of wood so that I can get my pattern. And then I put it on there that way, slide the tailstock up, lock it, and then turn it and put a lot of pressure on it. And that'll mark my holes. If you're doing a lot of these, it's a lot quicker. If you're not doing but 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, do it with a compass. See, I tore my cork up. So I'm going to have to redo the cork. So I guess it's good that I did that because I can show you how to redo the cork. This gets to be a common occurrence. Then you do the same thing again. Like I said, if you mess up the cork, you can always redo the cork. It's not that big a deal. I have started making this tenon tight, like you would on a box, and then doing my turning work and everything, and it doesn't, and then coming back, and then doing the cork after that. It works out that I don't have to replace as much cork.
So your cork was self-adhesive?
Yes. Yes. That's the beautiful part about the cork is that you don't have to worry about. Now, Bill in his directions, he sells cork in rolls. And he gave a sample when I bought the Bill kit, but his cork must have been old because it's kind of brittle. It didn't flex like this does. And but he sells it in a roll that's 3/8 wide, and it's pretty expensive buying it from him. You can buy, I think, 20 or 25 of those 4x4 squares for something like $6 or something. And you can get 200 or 300 of these strips out of it. I cut the strips on a paper cutter, you know, like schools use. So now I've got to get that back again. That's good enough. Okay, so while I'm here, let me go ahead and drill the holes in the top. I like to drill the holes before I sand it, because sometimes they get bigger than what I want them to be. I probably made 25 or 30 of these shakers. And the place that I mess up the most is drilling these holes. Now Bill shows you how to make a jig from drilling the holes, and I made the jig, and I don't ever get a good one out of it, hardly ever. And I made this little jig, and it's foolproof. So. Okay, now then, I've got the holes punched, I've got this made. Now for the sanding and finishing. You know, I don't think you're going to have any problem if you're shooting video with this lathe, because it doesn't make that much noise. Now my lathe, the dust collector comes on automatically, and that makes a lot of noise. I'm sanding through, start off 80, 120, 240, 360, I think, 400 and 600. Anybody use this Arklatex sandpaper? This stuff lasts forever. And if it gets dirty, you just dust it off. Get the dust out of it, it's ready to go again. I've got to hold on to these sandpaper strips pretty hard on my leg, because if it slips out, it's sucked up in the dust collector. You've got to go dig it out. Okay, now one of the videos I watched on a guy, I don't remember whether he's making shakers or something else. But I'm going to show you how he finished them. And it's not as pretty finish as what that is over there. But I'm trying to make shakers to sell cheaply or economically. My boss, when I sell the insurance, said don't say cheaply, say economically. So that's what I'm trying to do, is make them economically. And I'm going to try Gilbert's method. If it's fast as he said it is, I'm going to do something that way. I've done a few of them with CA glue, but I always get ripples in it. Now this is a buffing pad. I got it at O'Reilly's. It's called Scotch-Brite. And this is the finest that O'Reilly has. Make it several different grades. Okay. I want to take this lathe and we're going to go through. I got it somewhere. Here it is. Now this is Deft Sanding Sealer. DEFT. 9-quart can. Most hardware stores sell it. And it's basically a lacquer product. It's lacquer with some filler in it. And this guy was using this, and this is the only thing that he used. Now, you put a couple of coats of this on, and then buff it, it comes out halfway decent. Not anything like that, but it's halfway decent. Okay, and I'm going to put a real thick coat on. I'm just going to dribble it on. Might know the stopper to be stopped up. You see, I'm just basically pouring it on there, getting a good thick coat on it. You don't want to get it too hot. You just want it to flash off that lacquer cleaner. Still tacky. It's not drying in Texarkana as good as it does in New Springs. Still need a little more drying. Still tacky. Next thing we're going to do is cut off and we're going to buff it with the Scotch-Brite. And then we're going to cut it off, finish the bottom, and then I didn't bring a buffer, but then you take it to your buffer and buff it. And I got a question I want to ask people to buff. I've only been using the red and the white. I haven't been using the Cordoba, the wax. And the reason I haven't been using the wax is because I found out making pins and stuff, after you handle them a while, the wax gets dull. I know you can go back and buff it, but the people that you selling this stuff to doesn't have buffers. And if you want it to look pretty, I've been skipping the wax part. And that way you get it polished up, the finish polished up, and it's not going to get dull on you like it would with the wax. You don't find that to be true?
I don't worry about it.
You don't worry about it?
No. To me, it's not a problem.
Okay. Okay. It's got a shine to it. It's nothing like doing that other. All right. Cut this off and finish the bottom. We're nearly through. I use my thin parting tool out of the material I got one night here. It works pretty good. Nothing works too good in this thing that's not. Okay. Okay, I'm putting the 1 1/4 inch Forstner bit back in. And we're going to drill a little hole in this part here. You know what that was? I went too far.
What did you say?
Uh,
That was one of the, whoops, do it. That's not what we do first. Okay. I like to put buttons in the bottom of my stuff to show who made it. And this is an 11/64 drill bit. And it just fits the buttons. And I'm going to go in about 3/16 here. with this, we're making a concave place on a button, because I don't want the button running on the tabletop. Okay, that's done. When that dries, we're finished. Hope y'all learned something. Doggone it. I run the court again.
Work again?
Yeah. Well, I got a way of fixing it. Y'all wanna watch me?
Sure.
Somebody sharp fingernails peel that car off for me. Do you remember where that hex key is? Everybody see this deal on Bill?
Everybody get a chance to see the daddy passed around?
Basically, what Bill wants to say is a mandrel. He gives you a 1 inch and a 1 1/4 inch mandrel. I don't have a hole in it. Hey, get this one. See how loose that is? That's not gonna work. This not gonna work either. Okay,
How about putting something in your tailstock and just pressuring it on?
I can do that.
Push the tailstock itself against it.
I can do that. But I'm not ready to do that yet. I need to put the cork on. Okay, cork number 3. Okay, I got the cork on. I'm going to do this. Here's my 5 cents.
Hey Glenn,
Hey,
why don't you just push the tailstock without the piece in there, just push it up against it.
well, since I've got this indent here,
It'll hold it.
this will hold it too. Because with the button in there, I've got a dent center in there already. And the button's gonna hide whatever mark this makes. Whoop, guess not. I get punched all the way through. Go to John right here.
Just screw it up in there.
I think I punched all the way through.
Happens.
they do the talking. Little bit tight. Little bit tight.
It's Courtney's coming loose.
Okay, it's on there. It's not very pretty, but it'll work.
Yeah.